All right. Again, you're welcome to those who are watching the Blitz on Inside the Lines Media, where we throw out topics that are hot topics out there in the area. Our next topic is kind of a curveball, no pun intended, and this is a topic that I didn't really put out there formally to you guys, but I want to tack it before we kind of go to the college level on something. Um, Obviously, we're in the midway point of the high school spring baseball and softball season, and we've had the opportunity of broadcasting a number of games on the Center Grove side and appreciate that opportunity to have that. Based on the teams that we have seen, Center Grove obviously being one of those teams, and you talk about the other teams in the metro area, who are some of the teams that excite you and why do they excite you on the baseball side? And then we'll take it on the softball side after that. We'll try to make this a little quicker roundtables on this, but just a team that intrigues you as we're at the midway point. It could be a local team or it could be a team you've come across one way or another so far this spring. We'll start with Adam on this one.
Yeah, I'll stick to the baseball side of it for right now. The one that excites me, and I don't know necessarily if it's, I don't really think they'll be there at the end of the year necessarily, but is Whiteland. I think that they have, we saw them perform really well in the Johnson County tournament, end up playing Center Grove in the championship, didn't go their way, but they've had a few games this year where they've won when they shouldn't have. It seems like they're starting to build that program up, and we're all on social media and things like that. And of all the other schools kind of in the local area here that we have come across other than Center Grove, Whiteland's got a little buzz around them that I see. And so it's kind of cool to kind of see when Corbin and I called that game with you, Chris, and Center Grove Whiteland, and Corbin talked about kind of that rivalry that Center Grove and Whiteland have. And in particular, Whiteland is like, hey, we want to beat Center Grove year in and year out. And so to see that program kind of develop is exciting, not just for this year, but to kind of see the growth of what may come over the next, 3, 4, 5 years.
Chris?
I'll give you 3. 2 are local, 1 not so local. So the one not so local, I'm really interested in Crown Point on the baseball side. They've always had a strong program. They have to travel quite a bit of distance to play some other schools their size, but year in and year out, they're really strong. So it'll be interesting to see once the tournament starts how they progress and where they can go. The 2 local, one's Westfield. Really disappointed to have the rain out on Monday with Center Grove and Westfield with a rematch from the first game of the year. It was a cool win for Center Grove with a grand slam on the bottom of the 7th, but to see those teams about 6 weeks later to see how they progressed would have been nice on Monday. So I'm not sure that game will get made up just because of the way the schedule is the rest of the season, but we'll see how that goes. The other one local that's always one to watch is Mooresville. Mooresville's got another strong program. They've got a strong ace on the mound, a young pitcher. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but I'm sure whatever matchup they end up with Center Grove in the sectional, that's who will be pitching. And so that's one to kind of look forward to around Memorial Day when we get towards sectional for baseball.
I think another name we're going to have to keep an eye out for is Evansville North and how they do and how they come up throughout the state tournament. But Chris, I agree. I mean, Center Grove is definitely one of those teams that if the power keeps being there, gentlemen, for what they're able to do at the plate, defensively, I think they're stronger than they were last year defensively. Particularly in the infield, getting Drake McClurg out there in center field has just made them even deeper because you had Reed Salwa playing in center field, Jackson Burnett in right field, and now you're able to move Reed over to right field, and that just gives you additional depth for having somebody come in there and rotate, and give Drake a night off, give Reed a night off, give Hudson Stewart a night off, and make him just be designated hitter. Lots of things there from a Center Grove perspective. But I also think Crown Point is one of those intriguing teams that we don't hear a lot about down here in central Indiana because they're up there in the region and they've got to have their own special name for that area because everybody forgets about them in the region. But the reality is
they don't even know what time it is up there.
Huh?
They don't even know what time it is up there.
Well, yeah, that's true. But the reality is that I think somebody's going to sneak up like they always do. But I think Mooresville and Center Grove could be an incredible sectional and I think it's one of those things that we're going to see that happen. The question is who gets out of that and moves on to the next level. So excited to see how Center Grove can do for that. Let's touch a little more on the softball side for a second. I think the Center Grove Trojans had a huge win last night. Had an opportunity to talk to one of the coaches on the Center Grove staff. It was not Coach Coleman. It was someone else, just for full disclosure for anybody who watches this. But New Pal, Corbin, is just someone who was there, so I'll go to you first on this. New Pal is a team that has been a thorn in the Center Grove side and has had a winning advantage over the Trojans for a few decades now. And the way those girls, after being down 3-0 in that game, were able to come back and take a 4-0 lead and a 4-3 lead and never look back. I thought they played their best game of the year. So I think you've got to look out for Center Grove for sure in that 4A. There's a lot of good teams up there in the north side of Indianapolis that we're kind of forgetting about down here who have beaten Center Grove. And it should be exciting to see how that evolves to the state tournament.
Yeah, as far as kind of other teams out there, I mean, the one that still sticks out is Lake Central, right? I mean, they're undefeated at this point in the year. They've kind of built a powerhouse program, and I think the last 2 to 3 years they've been ranked in the top 5 consistently year in and year out. They're a team. It'll be interesting to see if Center Grove were to get matched up against them at some point in the tournament. Does the quality of the schedule that Center Grove has played outweigh what Lake Central's done so far? So that's another team that kind of sticks out to me to kind of keep an eye on.
Chris?
To me, it's just the level of softball in the area has just risen so much in the last 10 years. I mean, it's really all the teams. We have Johnson County has always been blessed to have good high school sports, but really, especially on the girls' side for high school, to see how much of a step up that really all girls sports have taken, but especially softball in the last few years. I mean, even Indian Creek, Whiteland, Franklin, all those programs have really stepped up their game on the softball level. And, I'll just give a good plug. You can't watch us, but you have a free night. Go watch a high school game somewhere, whether it's baseball or softball, because it's just such a good value for what you get to do and what you get to see. And to see plays like we saw at the end of the game last night for Center Grove, those happen every night of the week somewhere now. It's not just these teams don't have just one dominant pitcher anymore in softball. Everybody can hit, everybody can run. So really, to me, it's just even the whole area has a lot of good softball.